If you just got to lead somebody to Christ, that is awesome. But here's the thing, our job isn't done yet. We're actually called to make disciples, right? In Matthew 28, Jesus said, make disciples of all nations. That means to actually teach them to be like him. And that comes from, in his day, a rabbi and a disciple, that relationship. You know, a disciple would copy the rabbi exactly. Whatever his theology was, that was the theology of the disciple. Whatever the rabbi's character was, that was the character of the disciple. Whatever the cause of the rabbi was, that was now the cause of the disciple. And so I want us to remember that in Matthew 4:19, Jesus says, come follow me and I'll make you fishers of men. And you know, that's a process right there. And it's almost like steps in maturity. And if we look at what we have here, these 4 chairs, they really kind of represent the different steps in maturity in following Jesus. So we have this first one, this lost person chair right here. And this is somebody that doesn't have a testimony, right? They don't have a story of when they've been born again and they're lost, they're relationally broken, they're spiritually broken, and they need the gospel to save them, which you just led them through, right? And that puts them in what we call the believer chair right here. And this believer chair is somebody that has trusted in Jesus, but they haven't really grown in their faith yet. They haven't even taken the first step of obedience of being baptized. Right? And so if somebody hadn't been baptized, or they don't really read their Bible ever, or they don't really pray, or they're not involved in church, and most certainly in this believer chair, and they need to move from this believer to being a disciple, which is this black chair right here, this worker chair. You know, you don't have one of these chairs when you watch football games and movies. This chair is made for work, and people that seek to know him, they work to make him known. Man, they're in their Bible, they're in church, they're seeking to really follow Jesus. And that's what he's called us to do, to be his disciple. But we're also called not only just to be his disciple, that's addition, we are called to make disciples, right? Making disciples is multiplication. And that's exactly what Jesus called us to do. As you can see, these are stacked on top of one another because one led another and led another. And that's the principle of multiplication. When it comes to multiplication, we think about COVID-19, which just spread across the whole world. It felt like in just a few months. And that's because of the principle of multiplication. One gave it to the other, and to the other, and to the other. And Jesus had that in mind when it came to spreading the gospel. And so I want to encourage you, if you've led somebody to Christ, then that's great. But we are called to make disciples, right? We are called to make disciples that will make disciples that will make disciples. And especially those you've just led to Christ. And so I want to encourage you in that, to make disciples.